said, I was thinking about that night. Police beat my ass, boy. Man. Them niggas was going to... And you know what's crazy about it? When they was whooping my ass, I couldn't feel them. I was like, what I was looking at was the people... Well, let me tell you how I got to that point. Well, what happened was, it was around 10 p.m., and I decided to do some niggerish things. Remember that time I had called you and I said, hey, man, I'm trying to get up out this house, but this bitch won't move. And you said, hey, man, if that woman didn't care about you, she'd just let you go. But anyway, like I said, it was around 10 o'clock, and the sudden urge to be a nigger came over me. Well, like I said, bro, to tell you the truth, at this time, like I said, I was trying to quit my addiction, so I was going through withdrawals, and you can't sleep when you're going through withdrawals. So I remember I had to sit down and think. I was thinking about that. I said, what did we get into it about to make me want to leave? And it was the TV, because I was in the living room and I had the TV, and she was like, and tell somebody else want to watch TV. I said, I don't give a fuck who want to watch TV. I said, it's my TV, and I'm going to play my game. You can't do that. I said, go in your fucking room. I said, oh, well, I know what I'll do. I'll just leave then. And she said, I remember I had put my book bag behind the door, and I said, I'm just finna do shit till she tell me to leave. So that was taking too long. So I just said, fuck it. I went and got fresh, and she said, where is you going? I said, I'm going to Copacabana, bitch. That is where I'm. You don't know nobody down there. It's late. They gonna kill you. I said, you sound like my grandma. Everybody gonna kill me. I said, all right. So I tried to go out the front door, and I remember she jumped in front of the front door, and she said, no, you can't go. So I said, all right, I got something for you. I tried to run out the back door. So when I tried to go out the back door, it got a big old wall, and I tried jumping over the wall, but that wall like 8-9 feet tall. So I had to really run and get up it. And I remember she grabbed my shirt and pulled me down. She said, if you don't stop, I'm going to call the police here. I said, you better call somebody, bitch, because I'm about to get started up in here. And I remember I was walking, and her sister was over there. And her sister said, what we going to do? I said, what y'all going to do? I said, y'all going to move the fuck out of my way? Now, I wasn't in my right mind when I was doing all these things, Brandon, brother, you know. And I remember she was standing in the door, and I said, I'm finna go. And she said, call the police. Call the police. And I remember her sister ran and grabbed the phone, and I heard her talking to him. I said, oh no, I'm not waiting around for this ass whooping. I picked her up. I could have been there. I picked her up and threw her ass on that couch and took off running, boy. So I was running down the road, and I know why, because at this time I didn't have a SIM card. So I couldn't call Uber or nothing. This was like when I first got down there. So I remember I was outside, and I was walking down the road, and they passed me up. And then I looked, and then I said, oh no, they coming back. I was hiding in the bushes, and I was waiting for them to go by, so it was like about 10, 15, 20 minutes. So I said, okay, they done looking for me now. So I hopped out the bushes, and I said, well, I guess I'll go home. I'm going to go home like ain't nothing happened. So I'm walking down the street, and then she came out. The fence had a little a fence you got to walk through to get to the street. So I remember she came out the fence, and I seen her, and she was walking up the street, and she came up the street, and she stopped, and she said, what's wrong with you? I said, you wouldn't understand, which she wouldn't. So then I remember, bro, and this when it really got serious. I remember I had a police car coming from both ways. I said, you bitch. I said, you done set me up. You need to get help. I said, no, I'm finna get the fuck out of here. And I remember when the police got out and they said something, and I said, Senor, falo no Portuguese. And then he said something, I just took off running. And I remember when I was running, man, and they got this store. Now it was dark, but it was like, still had people out on the street. And I remember when that nigga tackled me. Like it was like in slow motion, bro. And for real, bro. I was in slow motion, and I remember it was two of them at first, and they were just whooping my ass. But you know what I remember the most? I remember the look on the people's faces that was standing out there. That's all I remember is how the people was looking at me get my ass whooped. And you know what's funny about it? The whole time they whooping my ass, I wasn't saying nothing. I was just looking. And then I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I remember that dude got out the car, police got out the car, and it's the God honest truth. And I remember he pulled his gun out, and I remember saying to myself, thank you. This shit is finally over with. Because that's how bad withdrawals is. I said, I heard that song. If I could change, then I would. Yes, I got everything. I said, boy, this shit finally over. That's how bad it was. And I remember seeing my old lady face at the time. And her eyes were big, boy. And when I seen her eyes, and then I seen them little girls looking, I started hollering. I said, hey. Then the one of them picked me up. He said, you a gringo? I said, senor, gringo. And he was like, what you doing up here? Because like I said, I was an hour or something up north. And like Americans don't be up there. So that nigga said, so I pulled my passport out and I gave it to him. He said, man, this dude is gringo. And they were like, what are you doing way up here? And then I was like, and I remember she said, oh, no. Stop talking to him. Arrest him. I said, these people that whooped my ass already. Now you want them to arrest them? So I remember they put me in the back of the police car, bro. And do you know she got in the back of the police car with me? Ain't gonna say. She gonna look at me and say, Senor, falo Portuguese. I say, bitch, that ain't funny. So we went to the police station. And they do things different with domestic violence. They don't just lock the man up. Well, they didn't do me they had another dude in there. Him and his old lady got into it. And boy, she fucked him up, man. I remember I said, damn, what happened to him? And they were like, him and this muley got into it. And I remember, I said, y'all ain't gonna take me in the back. I said, y'all can send me home. Fuck that, I ain't going back there with them niggas. I said, no, sir. I ain't them niggas back there savages. So, I remember they separated us. And the lady told me, she said, they got a dude coming down here. He speak proper English like you. And she said, he gonna come talk to you. And I remember this is why it's good to have men around. Because it was nothing but men and two women. And he came downstairs and he was laughing. He said, hey man, what's up with you? I was like, nothing. He said, why you run? I said, man, I thought y'all was gonna kill me. He was like, nah, man. I said, well, in America they do. So he was like, oh yeah. He said, this is what I'm gonna do. He said, I'm finna go in here and I'm gonna tell her we gonna revoke your visa and send you back to America. He said, and whatever she says, he said, that's what we gonna go with. So I'm like, all right. So that meant he went in there and I heard him talking to her. I heard her say, no. I said, and he came back. He said, well, he said, she said no. He said, well, we all imagined she would. He said, but we gonna send you. I forgot what they sent me. He's like, don't go back to that house tonight. He was like, go somewhere. And I remember the police the motherfucker took me all the way downtown to a hotel. Yep. And that's how that led to I think it was about a day or two later when I passed out in the mall. Yep. I passed out in the mall. Yeah.
So that's... Why they took you downtown?
They took me down because it's different down there. It's not like how the police treat you.
Oh, they didn't take you to no other jail? They just dropped you off somewhere else?
Yeah, because they told her, they said, well, all we can do is, we can just send him home, deport him. And she said no. She said, oh, no. I said, they were like, well, what the fuck you complaining about then? Yep.
So if they don't deport you, would they just let you stay?
Well, they did it for me. Yeah, man. They did it for me.
Oh.
Yep. So, like I said, then I end up passing out in the mall. Then, but I'll tell you about that one later. It was like, remember that movie, Wolf of Wall Street? When he was in there talking on the phone, and they were like, he was like, Jordan, what you talking about? But yeah, it was like that. But we'll get to that later, Mike.